Well, there's a lot of homeless people back behind there too.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, good morning, and my name is Reverend Vaughn Amaré. Welcome to Northern Lights Center for Spiritual Living.
Woo-hoo!
Northern Lights Center for Spiritual Living is a community of people dedicated to using what?
Practical.
Spiritual and practical principles to create lives we want to live. And Northern Lights Center for Spiritual Living offers practical and spiritual tools to make positive changes in our lives. Our promise: to reveal, inspire, uplift, celebrate, and magnify your greatness. We acknowledge our presence here on the traditional and unceded lands of the first people of Seattle, the Duwamish and Coastal Salish peoples, whose identities were taken under the tribal identities of the Mykal people. These people are still here, and we join with them in how they continue to honor and bring to light their ancient heritage. We resist the erasure of Indigenous histories as we work towards honoring and inviting the truth. Similarly, we acknowledge how much of what we know in this country today, including its culture, economic growth and development throughout history and across time, has been made possible by the labor of enslaved Africans and their descendants who suffered the horrors of transatlantic trafficking of their people, chattel slavery, and Jim Crow. We also name the Asian and Chicano people who toiled with little recognition. We are indebted to their labor and sacrifices, and we acknowledge the tremors of that violence throughout the generations and the resulting impacts that can still be felt and witnessed today. This is adapted from T.J. Stewart. If you'd like, please join me for our opening song, In This Very Room by Ron and Carol Harris. In this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. And there's quite enough peace and quite enough power to walk through our every fear. For Spirit, sweet Spirit, is in this very room. In this very room. You go into the meditation, right? Okay,
Oh, no, I just got that.
Okay. So we are going to take a moment to just become still and to become increasingly present. So whatever it took to be here, getting in your car if you drove, turning on your computer and bringing up Zoom and hoping that maybe you can hear something that's being said here. Whatever it is that you have done already, just breathe into that and recognize how much of that gives expression to divine life. If you rolled out of bed, you rolled towards a new day. If you looked in your mirror to make any adjustments, to say, hey, I want to look a little different than how I rolled out of bed. Just take a moment now and rewind to that looking in the mirror. And look at that face looking back at you with loving admiration. Replace any judgment. Replace any, I should do, with the words magnificent. See your own eyes and just acknowledge the presence of divine life, divine wisdom looking back at you. With so many things that we do on a routine basis, pause for a moment and just embrace all of those with loving kindness. Did you get shoes on the right feet? Did you get your clothes on right? Parents praise their children for getting themselves together. We stop doing that as it becomes automatic. Take this moment here and now to bring that back. To take pride. To lovingly look at everything you are, at everything you do. And that little part of yourself that insists, oh, this could be better. Just hold a space to celebrate what is. And hold a space for that visionary that sees what can be better. Notice any feelings that arise. In the presence of greater self-love. Notice any sensations. Take a moment and just consider that your own capacity to love yourself, our own capacity to look with approval, maybe like a field where all kinds of flowers and plants can grow. Each flower contributing color, a texture, a shape. All held in a larger field of beauty. In this moment, let ourselves be basked in beauty. Pay attention to any physical or emotional reactions to acknowledging beauty. Perhaps our sense of awe increases. Perhaps our wisdom expands. Perhaps our sense of love for and in this world is stretched a little further. Finally, just embrace the unique love and beauty that you are. And in that embrace, let come to mind and heart any love that you've ever felt. Each of us has expanded the universe, has expanded the presence of the divine. So in that expanding presence, let your breath expand outward from you. Let your chest expand as you breathe in. And become aware of yourself wherever you are. If you're sitting in a chair, notice the support. If your feet are on the ground, notice the support of the ground. And in that noticing, come back to the room and open your eyes as you feel comfortable. And join me in saying, Amen. Ashe. And so it is.
So it is.
And now we get to all practice our declaration. And I'll do it how many times? 3. So, we are an expanding and loving community working in a field of infinite potential. We are an expanding and loving community working in a field of infinite potential. And finally, we are an expanding and loving community working in a field of infinite potential. And so it is.
And so it is.
for my reading. Okay. And this comes from something called the Happy Buddhist.
Oh, I love
I've heard it.
that. I love that site.
Ways to show love. How often we use the words, I love you. Instead, use the words, tell me more. These words show how we're committing ourselves to be fully present in that moment. Tell me more. Write a love letter. When you handwrite a love letter, not only are you showing how much you cherish someone, to spend the time and energy, you're also giving yourself an opportunity to remember all the things you love about the others. There's something about writing things down with a pen that makes us remember more. In your letter, you might share a secret, recount a memory, say something you noticed, ask a question. Could be something deep like, what's the best memory you have of your childhood? Or it could be something simple as, where would you like to go in the next 10 minutes? Make eye contact and smile at another person while in the midst of a crowd. Tell people what you love about them, surprising them with a text, email, or even a sticky note. Cheer others on. Showing support is key to maintaining good relationships. We all enjoy the security of knowing someone is watching our back, rooting us on, especially when we're reaching for a dream or going outside of our comfort zone. Surprise people with a fun activity outside of the routine. And we're already up to number 7. Ask, what does their perfect day look like? And help make it happen. 8, acknowledge their efforts. 9, help other people stay healthy. 10, record an affirmation. Praise or encourage someone we care about. It'll do wonders for their moods, especially when things aren't going their way. Just play it back. And finally, number 11, physical touch is a powerful way to communicate. Squeezing someone's hand or a rub on the back can say so much more than words. Physical touch also benefits our health. It's an effective stress reliever, mood booster, and even helps prevent colds and the flu. And so it is.
So it is.
You never see people in love with a cold.
That's not entirely true.
Not completely, but for the most part.
So the words to this month's chant are, if I accept God as the highest and best, do I accept me as the highest and best? Do I respect me as the highest and best? Do I express me as the highest and best? Do I love me with my whole heart? Do I love me with every part? Do I love me with my whole mind? Do I love me all of the time?
Thank you, Dr. Seuss.
If I accept God as the highest and best, do I accept me as the highest and best? Do I respect me as the highest and best? Do I express me as the highest and best? Do I love me with my whole heart? Do I love me with every part? Do I love me with my whole mind? Do I love me all of the time? Now you know, we switch up to you. If you accept God as the highest and best, do you accept you as the highest and best? Do you respect you as the highest and best? Do you express you as the highest and best? Do you love you with your whole heart? Do you love you with every part? Do you love you with your whole mind? Do you love you all of the time? If we accept God as the highest and best, do we accept us as the highest and best? Do we respect us as the highest and best? Do we express us as the highest and best? Do we love us with our whole heart? Do we love us with every part? Do we love us with our whole mind? Do we love us all of the time? Now, finally, we're not asking questions anymore. We accept God as the highest and best. Do I accept me as the highest and best? I respect me as the highest and best. I express me as the highest and best. I love me with all my heart, and love me with every part. I love me with my whole mind. I love me all of the time. Yes, I love me all of the time.
Good morning, everyone. It's a lovely day in the neighborhood. Let's go ahead. Goodbye. Okay. Here is our first song, and I know you recognize it.
Love breathes through me. Love breathes through me. Love breathes through everyone and breathes through me. Love breathes through me. Love breathes through me. Love breathes through everyone and breathes through me. I breathe the earth, the sun, the skies, and then the night, your starry eyes. In our breath, creation sighs. The breath that draws my gaze within and gently flows outside again. The breath of love that we live in. Love breathes through me. Love breathes through me. Love breathes through
Good morning again. Here we are. Bright sunny morning. Sunday morning. Sunny morning. Trying to get this paper apart. Okay. So this month the theme is to love out loud. And I changed the topic today because I didn't like the other one. Or not the topic, but the title. So, going through everything, I came up with a title that love is personal. And if you just think about that statement, each and every one of us present, our interpretation, our definition, the way we feel and express love is all individual. It's totally individual. Love has no limitations. It's endless. There's no restriction on love, because the divine instilled within us that love, because we are the love that the divine is. We are the life that the divine is. We are basically all that the divine is, expressing here on this earthly plane. Every person expresses love and experiences love, but we do it in our own way. Like I said earlier, the way we express love, the way we define love. Cultural norms may lead the people around us to be critical of our choices. And the choices that we make to share and to express love authentically. Some of those words get all twisted in there. Because to me, being authentic is one of my highest values. To be authentic in everything that you do, everything you say, everything you do, everything you whatever. To be authentic, to be your true authentic self. And sometimes that goes against what they call cultural norms, or what is normal. And I love that one cartoon. A kid asks the mother, "What is normal?" She says, "Oh, that's a setting on a dryer." You know. And really, what is normal? I mean, it's a baffling question to me. But when we stand in our truth and love out loud, we create loving change within our own communities. If we stand for who we are, we can create change. We create that by being our authentic self, by being that love of the divine and expressing that in our community. And sometimes it takes a while, but change happens, shift happens. And cross-cultural relationships lead to more unity. Because when you get out of your little clique, your little, I don't know what you call it, your little group, you know, and you connect with others, that builds a more solid community, more unity together. Celebrating our love out loud helps normalize different ways of expressing love and inspires others to embrace their own expressions of love. Because when we are authentic and express our love, then that gives freedom to others. Because sometimes others are afraid to express their love, and then once they see that we're doing it, they can have that freedom to do it themselves. Love is a complex emotion that means different things to different people. It can be a source of great joy and happiness, but it can also cause pain and heartache. And I'm quite sure that some of us, or all of us, have experienced both ends of that, the joy and happiness and the pain and suffering that it might cause, the heartache. Like we say, our heart breaks, you know, when you break up with somebody or somebody passes on and leaves this world, you know, your heart does break, it breaks open, so that you can love more. It expands it. Unfortunately, many of us are raised in a preconceived notion of what love is and what it is supposed to be, based on what we see in movies, TV shows, books. You know, yes, that love can be some of that we see, but that's not all of it. But the truth is, there is no one-size-fits-all definition of love. I don't know anything in this world that one-size-fits-all. You get a hat or something and it says one size. Now they've changed it a bit to one-size-fits-most, which is more accurate, I think, because it's so funny how they describe things. But yeah, they shifted to one-size-fits-most now. So don't let people tell you what love is. I mean, if somebody walked up to you and asked you, what is love to you? You know, what does love mean to you? And you ask, you know, X amount of people, and you probably get that many answers too. Because and as we move through life, I think that changes too. I want to say it matures, because we understand who we are and exactly what love does mean to us. Take time to find out what you are most comfortable with. Love is a deeply personal experience. And what works for one person may not work for another. And that is so true. And that's like what the love you have with someone may shift, and it's not the same, but it can still be love. It's essential to understand what you want from a relationship. I think that's a tough one for some people. I know it can be challenging for me sometimes. Okay, what do I want in a relationship? Well, I don't want it all one-sided, I know that. What are your boundaries? You know, we need to have boundaries. We need to have boundaries in most areas of our lives. Otherwise, people are going to walk all over you. And are there areas in your life that you're willing to compromise? Because to me, love and a relationship and whatever, compromise is a big deal in it, because that's the way it is. That's what, to me, it needs to be. We are perfect just the way we are. The gender identity, sexual orientations, and ethnic heritage that we were born with are the divine imprints that we're gifted from Source. We weren't born by mistake. Although that's a pretty broad statement, but in essence, sometimes I felt, of course, I was born by mistake. I always felt that all my life. But we have a purpose here. We all have a purpose for being here, no matter how we got here. And each one of us was purposely brought to this planet. and born into the communities where we were raised at the time, at the right time, the perfect time. I know I was reading in Louise Hay the other day about that we choose our parents, and sometimes I find that hard to swallow, you know. But I can't say it's not true. Just like reincarnation, somebody asked if I believed in reincarnation. I said, well, I don't not believe in it because don't know if I've experienced it, or, you know, I can't say it's not true. Our lives are a divine appointment. Just think about that. Sometimes when you're down on yourself and you say, oh, why am I here? Blah, 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 blah. You know, that we get that pity pot going, you know, and just imagine and say to yourself, I am a divine appointment. I am here by divine appointment. Who we are authentically is who we are meant to be. There's that word again, authentically. So we might as well celebrate who we are. And like we've said before, don't hide ourselves under a bushel basket. Don't hide our talents. Don't hide our love. You know, there's no reason to feel shame around any of our identities, because God didn't make it no junk. He doesn't make mistakes. And so we're here on purpose. And there's a thing I thought about the other day, and after I called hidden love. And that's a tough one, I think. Ian Mykal, Gandalf, aka Gandalf, said that people who are not gay just simply don't know how it damages you to be lying about what you are and ashamed of yourself. He said, I was brought up at the time when it was illegal for me to have sex with a man. And that was not that long ago. And the way things are going in some areas, that may be back again. Sometimes in certain relationships, we feel we have to hide, like interracial relationships sometimes. And like being in a marriage with a person of the same sex, there's a lot of states and areas I will not go. I choose not to go. And that's just my choice. I have the right to feel safe. And that's why one of my biggest values is to create a safe space. And at that part where he said how it damages you, lying about what you are and being ashamed of yourself. I remember way back when, and that wasn't a big thing. Love expresses itself in every color, even though people in interracial relationships around the world have had to fight for the right to love who they want to love. There's that saying that you don't choose love, that love chooses you. And I believe that. Because love expresses itself in every gender, regardless of the countries who still deny equal rights for same-gender loving individuals. Romantic relationships have mostly been portrayed as two people. The concept of cheating on a romantic partner could disappear if polygamy was normalized. Consenting adults would have the framework for any open discussion of their personal preferences. When we love out loud, we help shift the world towards an acceptance of all forms of loving relationships. We love our animals. We love our children. We love our parents. Well, theoretically we do. Sometimes that's a tough thing, but it's all different kinds of love. If you think about it, how you love your parents isn't how you love your partner or how you love your fur baby. So there's all types of different love within each of us. How we give that love, how we receive it, because there's that reciprocal where if we give, we must receive and give at the same time. Thich Nhat Hanh, in a book, How to Love, said that true love is made of 4 elements: loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. It seems very simple, There's loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. Those four little things, but sometimes loving kindness should be given to everyone. I know sometimes it is hard with certain individuals to have some compassion or loving kindness toward them, but we should at least try. And in the Science of Mind, it says, the essence of love, while elusive, pervades everything. It fires the heart, stimulates the emotions, renews the soul, and proclaims the spirit. Only love knows love, and love knows only love. I'm going to read that again. Only love knows love, and love knows only love. Words cannot express its depth of meaning. A universal sense alone bears witness to the divine fact. God is love, love is God. That's in the Science of Mind. God is love, and love is God. I mean, it seems so simple, but love itself is so complex. It has so many variables, so many ways of being, showing up. Recognizing that love expresses in all forms. Like I said, our families, our friends, our pets, the plants, the trees. I mean, to me, there's a sense of love there. Because I know I oogle sometimes over trees. I see these magnificent trees, and it's just like, I don't remember noticing them that much in the past. I mean, this has just started happening in the last, maybe a decade or so, but I see a tree and it's like, oh my God, it's unbelievable, that life, that giving life. And we don't recognize it. I think that's the sad thing about it. We don't recognize these things. They're right in front of us. And I could go driving down the road and see something and like, oh my God, that's what I knew. And I would go, no, it's not. It's been there for a long time. But sometimes we're awake to things, and other times we're just going right down the road and we're on a mission. But I think we need to stop, and the old saying, stop and smell the roses. Because that's all, to me, that's all part of the divine love. All the living creatures and plants and animals and us are that divine love. And that our personal understanding of love is unique, just as we are unique. Our personal understanding. it'd be interesting to sit down and take a pen in hand, like Reverend Vaughn was saying in the reading there, take a pen in hand and just write down what love means to you. And then go back and read it. I'll bet, just do it without criticizing. That's the big thing, things like this you do, don't criticize it. I know in that class we're doing, where we're writing a letter every morning, so many different things come up. It's just unbelievable, because you do reading, and the reading is of your choice, and it seems like almost every morning lately anyway, something triggers in the reading, and it's not coincidental, It's on purpose. I needed to, like certain things, I needed to hear, or I needed to open up and expand, and that's what you do with love. So let's explore our understanding of who we are through individual spiritual practice or group discussions. You can get in a group or and discuss these things. There's certain things in life that us humans, well, I think in this country, I think other countries are more open about discussing certain things, where we seem to be, I don't want to say tight-lipped, or we hold these things so close to us that we can't discuss it. But if we would do that and share with other people, it would be such a, I think it would create such a loving environment. Love exists, so our own understanding of love falls on different places. No one relationship is exactly alike as another. And I think it was last week, Reverend Vaughn spoke about we experience something, a great aha or something at somewhere, and we go back again when we're expecting the same experience. And that's not going to happen. I know I had a life-changing experience when I was in Egypt, and I know if I went back there that I may have another experience, but it's not going to be the same experience, because I've changed. Circumstances have changed. That area is, there's so many changes, but you can still have a fantastic experience. Just don't believe you're going to have the same, just like in relationships. All the relationships I've had are different. There's love, but it's different because, of course, there's other different people involved. We have the opportunity to recognize that all of our relationships have contributed to becoming who we are. Just like all of our experiences in life, our mistakes, our achievements, all of these things have contributed to who we are. And I like to go back, and I really, when I think about it, and I think about the rough time in my life in the 70s. Some of those times, I mean, there was a few good times in there, but there was more rough than good times. And however, they guided me and helped me to become who I am today. I've said this before, that I when I moved to Washington, I believe that was by divine, it was a divine commitment, a divine guidance, because I don't think I'm almost positive I would not be alive today if I would have stayed in that environment. But we have to make that choice. Because all these things, all these people that we've been in relationship, they've helped form who we are. Openly exploring our personal understanding of love inspires us to apply that same level of compassion for others' journeys of discovery. We discover ourselves in our journey, so we need to allow others to have their journeys. Their journeys of love, their journeys of failure. You know, so we have failure. And failure, they say, is the best teacher. And I agree in that in some ways. Of course, my orneriness is not going to agree with it 100%. But doing something and failing and then doing it again a different way, voila, you have success. I've done that quite a few times, but especially once I read the directions, you know. I think I can do things without reading the directions sometimes, and sometimes I can, and sometimes you have a couple pieces left over. I did that with a gas grill one time. Oh, this is great. This went together easy. I know. Oh, I got like 3 parts left. But there was an add-on at the end where they made a change. So we have to kind of look through things and discover. And that's one thing we have to discover, exactly what love means to us. Because love is personal. It's individual. It's complicated. It's beautiful. It's a divine scent that expresses through us, just as we express everything else that is divine through us. This is a fantastic life. Sometimes it seems like it's hell. And sometimes we create that hell. But this life is full of love. And we are that love. That's the thing that's great about it, that we are that love, and we can choose to love ourselves, love one another, love our planet, and be happy, like Thich Nhat Hanh said. The loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. The compassion and joy, along with loving kindness and equanimity, we could create a world that does work for everyone, a world that is the love for everyone. And so now, I invite you this week to just sit down and journal. Grab a pen and just ask yourself, what does love mean to me? What is love? And just let the hand go. Let the pen go. And I think you'll be kind of surprised. I think that's a good exercise for a lot of things in life. Because sometimes there's stuff inside that we don't want to let out, but once we put the pen to paper, it goes. And that hand and that pen has a mind of its own, believe me. So now, I have a affirmation somewhere here. Where are you? Oh, there you are. So, we'll go through this 3 times. Okay. I embrace who I am and the divine spirit that expresses itself as me. I embrace who I am and the divine spirit that expresses itself as me. And one more time. I embrace who I am and the divine spirit that expresses itself as me. And so it is. And now, oops, I have one more song. You better go away. There you are. talking to the screen.
He even talks back sometimes.
That's, oh, believe me, it does, yeah. Everything talks back. This is a pick me up song.
Or capital H-I-M, Just put your paws up, 'cause you were born this way, baby. My mama told me when I was young, we're almost superstars. She pulled my hair, put my lipstick on, in a glass of cover bar. There's nothing wrong with loving who you are, she said, because it made you perfect, babe. So hold your head up and you'll go far. There's nothing feeling the same. I'm beautiful in my way, it's coming from mistakes. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Don't have yourself to regret, just love yourself and say, I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. There ain't no other way, baby, I was born this way. Baby, I was born this way. There ain't no other way, baby, I was born this way. Right track, baby, I was born this way. Don't be a drag, just be a queen. Don't be a drag, just be a queen. Don't be a drag, just be a queen. Give yourself prudence and love your friends, so we can rejoice with truth. In love, religion of the insecure, I must give myself respect my youth. A different lover is not a sin, believe capital H-I-M. I love my love, I love respect again. Me, I'm on it, running like ice. I'm beautiful in my way, it's not with no mistakes. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Don't have yourself to regret, just love yourself and say, I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Oh, there ain't no other way, baby, I was born this way. Baby, I was born this way. There ain't no other way, baby, I was born this way. Right track, baby, I was born this way. Don't be a drag, just be a queen. Whether you're broke or evergreen, you're black, white, race, your left descent, you're Lebanese, you're Orient. Whether like disabilities, left you outcast or leader teased, rejoice and love yourself today, 'cause baby, you were born this way. Get certified as being trans and life. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born to survive. No matter what a face, should I Orient made, I'm on the right track, baby, I was born to be brave. I'm in the way, 'cause got me down mistakes. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Don't have yourself to regret, love yourself and say, I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Oh, there ain't no other way, baby, I was born this way. Baby, I was born this way. There ain't no other way, baby, I was born this way. On the right track, baby, I was born this way. I was born this way, I was born this way. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. I was born this way, I was born this way. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Same DNA. Born this way. Same DNA. I'm born this way.
Whew. That'll wake you up. And so with that, I just want to express my gratitude. Because gratitude centers me. It calms me down. It allows me to let go of all the trivial stuff that's going on. And so with that, I'm grateful for each and every person here, whether you're in the ethers, whether you're in the seats, whether you've been here before or you're coming. And I give thanks for all who contribute with their love, with their presence, their financial support. And I give thanks that each and every one of us are here on divine purpose. And that we love ourselves. And that we learn to love others. It says to love your neighbor as yourself. And what does love mean to you? Because love is personal. And so I give thanks for the divine presence, for the sacred ground where we sit and stand, for this safe space. And I give thanks for all that is right here and right now. For we are here on divine appointment. I release it, I let it go, because I know the divine knows exactly what to do. I let it go and I let it be. And so it is. So it is. And now